What up, everybody? I want to say thank you for listening to this brand new episode of the No Rhyme or Reason podcast. We appreciate every single one of you for tuning in to our show. But there's a small problem. We need you to subscribe on your device, whatever it may be, whether you're checking us out on YouTube, whether you're checking us out on Facebook, no matter where you hear this, subscribe or follow the podcast so you can be alerted as to when we create a new episode for you. We've even added a link down in the description for you where you can just by one click subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Just in case you miss it, you got something going on, you're busy, we ask you to subscribe to the No Rhyme or Reason podcast. Enjoy the show. Yo, you are now tuned in to the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, presented to you by On The Map Music Group, featuring Icarus Gray, and I'm your homeboy WordPlay T.JAY. We deliver to you a dope conversation where we talk about everything for no reason at all. Tune in every Monday to join in on the conversation. And without any further delay, this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast. And we're live.
Yeah. What's up, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy WordPlay T.JAY.
And this right here is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And today we actually have a special guest all the way across the pond. That's what they say about it. You know, they say across the pond. And his name is Mansour. He runs Two Niles Production, and he invited me to talk on his podcast called First Exit to Springfield. And I was on that podcast. The episode's going to be out very, very soon. We'll put a link down in the description for that as soon as it is available. But I'm excited to have you here to talk about sort of podcasting, creating content, maybe even being black, maybe even being from London, like whatever it is, everything for no reason at all. So definitely appreciate you for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me on. What's up, listeners? Yeah, from across the pond, the 51st state, I'm from London, England.
I've never heard that before.
I'm not Jeffrey from Fresh Prince.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah. No, honestly, I'm glad to be on. Thank you for coming on to my podcast. That's going to be dropping soon. That's next release. So I'm looking forward to it. It's it plays back really well.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Speaking of Fresh Prince and nostalgia, so we got into nostalgia when we were First Exit to Springfield on the episode that I was on. Yeah. We talked about Michael Jackson. We talked about a lot of things that dealt with sort of pop culture and nostalgia. So I wanted to ask kind of like what is the most nostalgic thing to you from your history?
Yeah.
Outside of that.
Oh, that's a great question. I think a lot of my nostalgia is from kind of pop culture, right? A lot of TVs and movies and music that I listen to. And so it's TV shows like Fresh Prince, like The Simpsons that kind of rewind it back for me, or listening to, I don't know, 90s hip hop that kind of, rewinds the clock for me. And I start to get all teary eyed and nostalgic. And I don't know. It's that kind of thing, right? I wish it was something deeper than that kind of
gives me that warm, fuzzy feeling. Is it all like American based? You know what I mean? Stuff that crossed over.
Yeah. So the thing with the UK is that it's kind of devoid of culture if you're not white. And I'll be honest with you.
If you're not of the crown.
Let's get right into it.
Yeah. I'll give you the realness here. Basically, it's kind of like if you're not white, you kind of look across the Atlantic to the States to try and get a lot of your culture, right? I grew up listening to kind of Biggie and Pac and Wu-Tang and all of that, and that taught me a lot about life. And I'm not saying it's the same struggles, but there's a lot of parallels, right?
Yeah, of
No,
course.
no.
Of course.
Same struggles. No. Don't see. That's the thing no.
Don't downplay it.
Don't ever downplay it, because that's the thing that I think is always culture shock to when people go across the pond or go anywhere else that's different. Like, no. They don't feel us over there neither. Like, they're not checking for the gang. They not checking for the skin tone. They you know, and it looks nicer because y'all sound much more polite than we do. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, they're treating you right, because that's a new perspective I've never had before, is a sense that it's like you're getting your culture from us, because they don't, like, they tried to take ours and we just forced our way into having it with, you know, with 90s hip hop and everything else that kind of happened. And so to feel like, you know, that's not there for you, that's like, oh, that's crazy.
Speaking of culture,
go for it.
I saw some of the t-shirts that you were wearing, like, that said Nubian, right? So, like, is that an irony thing that you're trying to show to the audience, or is it part of your own heritage?
Oh, fully, yeah. So that's I'm mad Afrocentric. Because I feel like, so, you know, the UK is kind of like the home of whatever the opposite of Afrocentrism is. The UK is kind of that, right?
Anglo-centric.
You know what I mean? I'm at the mothership. You know what I'm saying? I'm right now. I'm in the mothership of, like, you know, empire and colonization and all of that. So I'm kind of, you know, that kind of tripped me towards that. But just going back a second, I was saying, so while we do get all of our culture from the US, like, I'd be missing a big part if I didn't mention that there's a lot of culture that comes from the Caribbean, right? There's like a huge Jamaican and other West Indies communities in the UK, and that's also like a big influence in music and all of that. But as for the Nubian stuff, yeah, I'm mad into that, man, because, like, the other side of it is that so Nubian is kind of a general kind of Afrocentric term, right? But it's also, like, specifically refers to a set of tribes that I'm from, right? So, like, my old man's like one of these old school Africans, right? And he's actually from one of these Nubian tribes. So that's why I got a particular connection to that.
Nice. I felt it from your videos. So I had to make sure that I was on the nose with that.
Oh, you know, absolutely.
I always laugh when people are like, you know, well, my nostalgia is Biggie Pac, and then I come through and I'm like, well, you know, my nostalgia is Pokemon and Digimon and Power Rangers. You know, like, you know, I have the hip hop connections, but, like, they came so much later. Yeah, that it's like,
so. I've got all the Pokemon and all of that, but I've got older brothers. I'm talking, you know, like 10 years older, and so whatever they were into, I was into. So you know what I'm saying. So, like, they're teenagers getting into Biggie and Pac. I'm picking Alpha also, which is weird. It's not a great way to, you know, I basically learned English by listening to Tupac, which is a terrible way to learn English.
So you learned
talking about Hennessy, right? It's just like, I didn't know what Hennessy was. You know,
man. So if you're listening to the G-Funk cuts, then you're learning West Coast slang from LA, basically.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, and they describe a world that I don't recognize, and so. I've been out to the US a couple of times, and whenever I go out, I specifically seek the places that I grew up listening to, you know? So, like, I was out in LA a few months back, and I specifically went to the kind of, I mean, I maybe I shouldn't have stumbled into Crenshaw blindly, but the point is I go looking for, listen,
whoops.
You know, I went to, but, like, you know, I went, you know what I mean? Like, I'm walking through the streets, and I'm like, and now I understand where that music's coming from. And similarly, I was out in New York a couple of years before, and like that music makes so much more sense when you're actually there and present and seeing it, you know?
Yeah. You can hear the buildings when you listen to New York hip hop. And when you're surrounded by these buildings and you're walking through the boroughs or you're taking the subway, you know exactly what you're dealing with at that point.
Oh
Man,
yeah.
it's that's why I love hip hop, man. It's an embodiment of everything. Like the funniest thing about rap music sometimes is when they play sirens and stuff in the music. And here, the reason it's funny is because instead of knowing it's in the music, because we hear them so often, every time it doesn't matter. You gotta look around. Like, wait, hold on. Do I need to pull over?
You think it's for real?
Every time. Every time. It doesn't matter. Like, you could have listened to that song a million times and know when the siren is coming and still look.
You try to pull over even if you're in the house, seated on the couch.
Like, you start walking to the door, like you're walking to your door, moving the blinds around, looking through the people. Like, it's something wrong. You still got your headphones in, like. And the funnier part is when you take, like, you're listening to it in your headphones and you take the headphones out and are still listening, like, and then you put them back in and you're like, I knew I heard it, and then you like,
yeah. Even if it's on the track or even if it's outside, it really doesn't matter if your headphones are in and you're not driving.
But that's just how authentic it is to the culture and the society around you. Just like and I love that kind of appreciation for what you're listening to, and I appreciate people that do that, that go and listen. So salute to you for doing that, because a lot of people won't do that.
Thank you.
What about grime?
Oh man,
because I have no concept of what it is and what it's like.
Yeah. So this is a great question, and I'm gonna kind of refer back to that kind of Jamaican and Caribbean influence I mentioned earlier. So I feel like it's a common misconception that people look at grime as being kind of this British version of rap, but it's got slightly different roots. That it kind of came through from. There was a genre called garage. That before that it was drum and bass, and that all comes from like Jamaican kind of reggae and dub and that, and like. So kind of Jamaican communities coming to the UK kind of developed what ultimately became grime, right? And that stuff, that stuff is cool. It's not, I don't know, it's not me. It's a little too fast. It's a little too kind of electronic in its sound. But yeah, I dig it. I mean, like the neighborhood I live in London is kind of like a big center of kind of grime music. I live in Northwest London. If your listeners are familiar with that part of town, it's big on grime. So I dig it, and I understand where it comes from, and the sounds are cool, but I don't know, it's not exactly me.
Right. So it's like EDM with a little bit of rap on it, maybe, or garage. When you say garage music, that seems like more of a fit for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like that, but it's got slightly more kind of industrial sound. It's like grime if grime like merged with like old games music. The old Pokemon soundtrack mixed out with grime.
Yeah. So
the fact that makes sense. Instantly to me, like, I got it.
Yeah. It makes all the sense. So in Nothing to Lose, your segment, which is primarily on YouTube, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
You were talking about, I thought about buildings, and when you said, when I was talking about buildings in New York, like, of course you have to climb the stairs or go into the elevator. So you had this fear of lifts, right? I want to talk about that.
Cool.
I am not here to be therapist, T.J., but I am definitely curious about it.
Brain play, T.J. Pause.
Hey, so do you live in an apartment, or do you live?
Yeah, I live in an apartment. We just don't have a lift. We're just on the second.
What floor are you on? Okay, so that's an easy walk. I'm on 9th, right? I'm not trying to walk up 9 floors, man. But so I'm trying to get, I get into the elevator or the lift or whatever, and it's just awkward. It's tense because people want to talk. But it's not that, like, I'm not trying to talk, I'm trying to mind my own business, I step in, I'll put on my headphones and I won't even have anything playing. I just, don't leave me alone, you know what I'm saying? That's like,
I can't get that.
You just want to get to your floor.
Like, yeah. And it's like, exactly. And I don't know, man. What annoys me is people get on the floor for just one floor and disrupt my lift journey. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get from 9 to ground, and somebody's getting in on 6 and getting off at 5. I'm like, come on, man. I'm gonna walk down.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm sorry. Like I hate stairs. Like my job is on the 8th floor, and I normally park on the 7th. Now I get on 8, and I'm just getting off on I don't feel like pushing the door open for me. I'm just gonna walk out. Like
it's the mammal in us that wants to conserve this energy that we have and do things the easy way.
You know
There's nothing wrong with it.
I'm like, yo, isn't gravity free? You can't
gravity.
Here's the other thing though. And the time that the lifts, whenever there's like some emergency or something in the building, that's exactly when they turn off the lifts and they force you to use the stairs. And I'm thinking, that's the exact time when I'm trying to use the lift. I don't want to walk when there's an emergency. That'll take me 10 times as long. Man. I need like one of those special fireman's keys to like.
What if you're clumsy? Right? Could that be like a concern in an emergency? If you're clumsy and you're trying to run downstairs with a group of people, how many folks are really gonna trip?
The fire got you, the zombies ate you, whatever's there. Like you just got because I'm stepping over you. Don't fall. don't fall. I do have a question about your trips to here. So what is the food that rocked your world when you got? Because I know that there had to be something, because you went to LA and New York. So
yeah. It's an answer, but I'm conscious of how weird this is gonna sound, and like, so when I went to New York, the first thing I tried, because I'd heard about it for years, was chicken and waffles. So I went to a spot in Brooklyn. I got some chicken and waffles, and like, I don't know what happened. I ate it, and then I woke up the next day. Like, what happened? Like, it was that kind of hit.
Listen.
But yeah, we were talking about Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and you said that your experience was like an eye opener to like why Tupac even shot the video in front of it, right?
Oh yeah. But like, no, but like, that's exactly the kind of thing that like, that's exactly the kind of thing that I was seeking. Like my journeys over there are entirely driven by pop culture. Not out of some kind of simplification of the culture, but like, I really want to understand all this music that I grew up listening to. I want to know where it came from, who these people are, and you kind of get that when you go to these spots, right?
Yeah, right. Did you try In-N-Out Burger?
I did not, but I've heard good things.
Okay.
Perhaps next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
Whenever you come to Seattle, I'm thinking of a few spots that we can go to.
Man, have you ever been to a place called Gus's Fried Chicken? Gus is world famous. You know about this place?
Yeah, it's from it's about two. The original is about 2 hours from where we're from, I'm from Little Rock, and I'm still here. And there's one that's here now, and it's Gus's is what you like to call spicy perfected.
I'll tell you, Gus's make Roscoe's look like amateurs, and it's I don't know what's in it, but it's good.
Man, you get that on top of some waffles. Now, if Gus's would just give me some dip, like give me some barbecue sauce to dip my chicken in, like something like gravy. Like your chicken is bomb, but I need dips. I'm the dip guy. Like you gotta.
Do you know about this? You don't like it dry. I hear you, man.
No.
You know about this guy?
No white
he's
meat.
on YouTube.
Hold on. You got a YouTube?
The Chicken Connoisseur. Do you know about this guy? Some kid on YouTube. He's from London. He does like fried chicken reviews.
What?
No, I think he did a trip to the. Yeah. Hey, he's killing it. He's getting that fried chicken money. But he's out there.
Listen, man, that is the blackest thing I have ever heard. Fried chicken. Like the fried chicken money.
He took a trip to the US. Hey, it's a big industry. No, he took a trip to the US. He's out there with like he's got some part of ASAP mob go on a journey with him around some fried chicken shops.
That's crazy.
But like, yeah, he's fully yeah. It's oh man, that's why I need to get on.
Randomly, since you've been to Gus's, you need to go and try and find the Tennessee hot chicken.
Oh yeah,
like try and find some hot chicken. Like it'll make Gus's. You'll feel like, why do you eat this, people? But it's
is that a particular chain, or is that just a style of it?
Style, but
I
do believe there's definitely a chain, but it's definitely a style.
Yeah, Popeyes is trying to do it, but
right.
I don't know if they're getting it on the nose. And I think KFC is kind of trying to do it too, right? With their
they have like their buffalo whatever crap.
Yeah, Nashville hot. I know.
Yeah, that's what it is. Nashville hot.
Yeah. I was in the Popeyes. Oh yeah, they're trying to capitalize on spice.
Yeah,
because their normal spice isn't that good.
No, and they use a black woman in all the advertisements.
Oh god,
because they want to seem authentic, but you know.
Oh god. Yeah. You ever watch that show Storage Wars or Storage Hunters or whatever it's called?
Yes.
You know, it's like you know what I'm on about? There's a particular one. I forget the name of the show. It's hosted by that bald dude, something Kelly. Or,
yeah.
I don't know,
but I do know the show. Yeah.
All right. I don't know. There's some character from one of them called T Money. I swear I saw this guy in the Popeyes.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't want to ask him because if it wasn't him, like it's just awkward to explain.
Yeah, it would have been.
You can't even explain your way out of it.
And he's the one black guy, right? In Storage Wars.
Yeah.
That's just he's kind of Diesel and Jack.
No, he's kind of. Or
am I thinking somebody else?
No, the guy who pops open the garage doors. Is that who you're thinking of?
Okay, yeah.
No, I don't. Yeah. Anyways,
but I'm trying to think of a good question. It has to do with enumerate. So maybe Icarus can kind of lead the conversation for a second.
No. I do have a couple questions because I want to know. So if I come over to UK, we come to holler at you. I need to know, since we were already talking about food, I need to know where we need to go with you there.
Oh, me. Oh, yeah. That's an excellent question. So, oh, wow. Okay. Oh, man.
See?
Hey. So, basically, you don't want to go to any of the American style stuff here because it'll just be a joke in comparison to what you're used to. But what it's great for is like if you're into like there's the two big things out here. If you're into like Indian food, like big, like there's huge Indian population. The old empire. But it's like if you're into like curries and that's huge here. That's like probably the most popular dish if you're into that curry. But also if you're into like Caribbean food, if you're into like jerk chicken and that, there's lots of that. That stuff. If you ever came out here, I think probably to take you to either of those two kind of styles of restaurants. Like, there's a lot of them and it's good food, man. I don't know. Get you some plantain, get you some rice and peas, all of that, man.
Yeah. Yes, I'm here for that. I'm also here for whenever I finally am able to get to Japan, because that's gonna happen. I need ramen in my life, and then I need to go to some sort of to some Chinese country where I'm safe. And
you can go to
preferably be somewhere in the Vietnam area. I've been watching too much battle rap.
Yeah.
And get some
I think you can go to like Hong Kong to be okay. That city is all right.
I just need some pho.
I think so.
That's all I'm saying. I just want authentic pho or a hot pot, because when I realized what hot pot and Korean barbecue was, I was like, why aren't there more of these places here? Like,
then the only place you can go is South Korea.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Because North Korea, I don't think you want to go there.
Are you telling me I'm not welcome there?
I don't think anybody's welcome there.
Oh,
Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, if you go there, we won't come to rescue you. I'll be honest with you. You're on your own there.
Yeah.
We-
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We might have
But
to
if you
call
ever, if you ever make
Deterrence
it,
Gray.
wow. Wow. If you ever make it like around here, in the southern area of the U.S., we'll have to take you to get some good old catfish.
Oh yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I love that.
So our version of fish and chips.
You know, I don't know if asked about fish and chips. I think this is a myth. I don't know who eats fish and chips.
I don't
Well,
know.
it's
like,
delicious
if,
in the South.
If they tell
in
me
the
that
South.
y'all just be over there eating cod and all this other stuff, like no one wants to eat cod. Like get that out of here. I'm like that. And see, that's something that the what did you call them
The
earlier?
Anglos.
The Anglocentrism. That's what they be.
Yeah,
they can have that cod and chips. Now I will take tea. I will take the stereotypical tea and crumpets because I love tea.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
God,
I love that stuff. All I do is drink.
Gotta love tea. Like, Earl Grey.
I'm into mad varieties.
Delicious dark tea.
That reminds me.
Ooh.
That sparked the question, which is great. So enumerate is to take a bunch of things and then to list them off one by one, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So enumerate for us your top 5 favorite beverages.
Oh wow!
Kind of sip down some of these things.
Yes. Yeah.
Jeez, this guy's got those killer questions. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man. Right. Yeah. So the number one is I'll give you the best one first because that's what comes to mind. Number one, it's probably A&W root beer. Number 2 is probably I'm going in. Number 2, I'll probably go for like that Mighty Malt, that malt thing. The
malt
it's like a weird thing
that you were trying. Yeah.
Number 3, I'm partial to a cream soda. I'm into
that. Yes.
You know about that? Yeah?
Hold on.
So
1 second.
good.
What do you? This is exactly what I was having prior to a vanilla cream soda here. This from a brand called Big K. So if you ever come here and you're in the South, buy all Big K sodas. They're the cheap version of sodas, but they're
generic,
it's for black people, basically.
But it's still sugar water. So
it really needs to say. It really just needs to say like black
K.
Black K. What it needs to say.
I don't know.
The hood drank soda.
I'm into like particular teas, and I'm into like I love like peppermint tea or any kind of mint tea.
Okay.
And I don't know about that, but I don't know. Number 5, I'll pass on that. I can't think of a particularly
Mountain
good drink.
Dew.
You know that? There you go.
Oh man!
If
thank you.
If it's not Baja Blast, then the Mountain Dew can get off here.
Yeah.
Listen,
I swear Mountain Dew was like banned from the UK or something because they found mad like I don't know if they found it was like carcinogenic or something. Oh man, I might get sued by Mountain Dew. Allegedly.
No. Allegedly, you're safe. You're safe.
We have to get more listeners first. Then we can be worried.
That's good. And also, I mean, hey, I don't care. Y'all ain't sponsoring us. Move on.
Right.
And I don't want as much as I do drink pop, I do not want any sort of food or drink person to sponsor us because whatever weight I'm about to lose is instantly coming back. Because you don't have to pay me in money, just keep sending me cases. Whatever it is that you provide.
Speaking of pop and soda, right? So you just said pop, but pop is like another word for just any type of soft drink, right? Just like you said lift, Mansour, for elevator, are there other words that you all say that doesn't necessarily jive with our lingo here?
Oh yeah,
because we had a whole episode about this.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no one says pop and soda over here. So first off, but you guys say faucet, we say tap. The one I had recently, I kept describing primary school, but I think you call it elementary school. So it's pretty innocent things like this, right?
And you guys say, I think university versus
you guys say college, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. I don't know. I think that there's lots of vegetables.
There's a lot of them, but you don't know until you actually hear it.
Yeah.
What about
what do you call aubergines out there? Eggplants.
Eggplants.
Yeah, we just say eggplants.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what else there is. Yeah, it's weird stuff. You know when I get it most? Like basically, whenever I go to the US, I hate going to like any kind of eating establishment where you have to like talk a lot to place your order. So I hate going to Subway. I hate going to like Chipotle or like because I don't want to go down the entire aisle and every single customer service person behind the counter is asking me, what? Repeat that. Where are you from? Say that again. Like, I'm not trying to. You know what I'm saying?
What about those? What about those? Yeah.
What are those? Oh man, I'm mad that died, but it's fine.
Yeah. On your show, go ahead.
Subway and Underground is the other one. Subway, the Underground. I don't know. Yeah.
So on your show, Acquired Taste, I'm curious if you're going to venture into or are you going to venture into foodstuffs as well? Yeah,
so that was the original plan. So I actually wanted to do like a chicken and waffle special where I went around London, but like it makes it more difficult to film at restaurants. I mean that was initially the plan, but like food is more difficult. What I'm trying to go with it is that I think like I might, I don't know. I think me doing it solo is cool, but I think more people in it is a more interesting dynamic. So I might get some guests on and we kind of explore more drinks and food together. But yeah.
What was your favorite episode that you've done so far?
Of that Acquired Taste,
Mm-hmm.
The root beer one is good. The malt drink one is weird in that it's actually a terrible drink. I mean, it's enjoyed in like small amounts, but root beer, like you can have more of it before you start to feel sick and unhappy and question your life choices.
Yeah, because you love the sugar. You're like, oh, the sugar is so delicious, and then it becomes not delicious after a while.
When I tell you I could drink cream soda all day, especially if it's authentic, like that authentic cream soda that's just like looks like a beer and it's smooth and like doesn't need ice in it. Like you don't put ice in it because it's a for real cream soda. And you just it's smooth as possibly be. Like I could do that all day.
A&W do a good cream soda.
Yeah,
I like the cream soda pretty much, but I'm more of a there's this I can't think of the brand now. It comes in a glass container, and I love them more than I like A&W because A&W is because they're everywhere. They're like the gas station cream soda for me.
Ubiquitous, yeah.
So it's just like it's like, nah, you too mainstream now, son. I need
you like the hipster cream soda.
I need the hipster cream sodas because like the thing about the artisanal cream soda, to go full hipster here, is that like I said, there's a you can tell when like the cream soda is just cream flavored versus like I said, this smooth because what is the name of the BJ's down here, which is still an odd name for a restaurant. Let's just get that out there. But
I'm not trying to eat that.
But they have an amazing cream soda.
Don't taste the special sauce. Yeah.
Wow, that is hilarious. They have an amazing cream soda. Pause.
Yeah. At BJ's.
Whoops. Hey. Okay.
But I was gonna ask, like, in terms of like Acquired Taste, in terms of like food and things, what are some things that you want to try?
Yeah.
And just haven't gotten around to trying it yet.
Cool. For sure. So yeah, just before I answer that, I was just going to say on the topic of A&W being like the gas station soda. So do you know how much a can of A&W costs in the UK? If you were to buy it at a restaurant, it'd be, let me try and do this conversion. Most restaurants will charge you about $5 for a can of it, the equivalent of that, because it's like
what?
Some imported specialty. Yeah. For a can of A&W, and if you got it in. Yeah. Because basically anything kind of American produced is crazy expensive. I walked into a shop, bought a Baby Ruth bar. Right. Let me do it again. Baby Ruth. How much did that cost me? $2.80. The equivalent of that, right? If you see anything that's yeah. It's expensive stuff out here. Basically, you got to get used to the taste of British confectionery.
Oh my god! I can see why A&W tastes so amazing to you.
It's a luxury.
You're re-drinking your tears. like how much you see. It's like I'm able to get a little bit of my happiness back. Like, do you want to
savor every taste?
Do you want to know how much I spent to get this cream soda? Now this comes in a 12-pack. I could have gotten 24 of these for the same amount that you paid.
For one
A&W. For one A&W.
And it's delicious.
Listen, when you pay $5 for a can of A&W, you tear the can open and lick the inside. You wanna make sure you got every last drop,
right? Yes, so every last.
Yeah.
I've also I'm also someone who it's pretty rainy over there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
So it's pretty much like Seattle.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say I'm into rain. So does it bother you, or is it just something that you kind of like get used to?
So the big difference between rain in London and rain in Seattle is that it's unpredictable in London. Seattle, pretty much, as I understand it, Seattle has they're pretty defined seasons, right? Yeah. And you know if it's going to rain on a particular day or not.
Yeah.
Here, you don't know. You pack everything. You pack an umbrella just in case, because it might switch. It might be sunny in the morning, but you don't know what's coming up in 20 minutes, right? Like it's basically. So it's not so much the rain; it's more the unpredictability, right? Which makes kind of planning for the day or dressing a particular way or doing anything outside makes it more challenging.
Is it a downpour?
No, it's more like a consistent background thing, right? You just So
okay.
It's
so gross.
Yeah, it's not good. Which is terrible, man. Because I don't know, but you know what it is? Because I'm a big dude in it, and so I tend to dress kind of. I don't know. I dress kind of thuggish in retrospect because you know what I'm saying. I'm not into like skinny jeans or tight t-shirts. So, the weather is pretty well suited.
Shots fired. Pow, pow, pow. It's like
yeah.
You
think I'm wearing this hoodie because it's raining? Yeah.
No.
So how long have you been producing content and just been interested in doing that? Because I want to like kind of parlay into like what sparked that inspiration.
So I told you before I used to rap. Mm-hmm. Oh, you reload the question.
Yeah, I'll rephrase. So yeah, what got you into producing content, and just kind of what inspires you, so we can kind of talk in that direction.
Sure. So I used to rap. I guess like everyone did, right? I told you about kind of growing up listening to Biggie and Pac and all of that, and that stuff was forever in the back of my mind. And I used to rap, and I spent a lot of time and effort kind of rapping, put together mixtapes and that. Which, anyways, I kind of
talked about that for a little bit, yeah.
Exactly, and I've not been doing that for a number of years, but I still got that itch to be creative, and so I started podcasting again. I realized that a lot of good things. I'll be honest with you, my mixtapes weren't amazing, right? Clearly, I wasn't selling, but I realized what was good about them was that I think there were kind of elements of humor in there, or things like that, right? I think I was good at like describing things or whatever, and I realized I could transfer those skills to podcasts. And so, I saw that itch of creativity, and so I got back into got into podcasting as a proxy for rap, I guess. And then the kind of the vlogging stuff and the video stuff kind of came naturally after that. But it's just a creative outlet. I don't, what I'm saying, I'm not trying to get that YouTube money. Well, partly because you keep
chicken
keep
money.
moving yeah, exactly.
Chicken money.
Partly because
Fried chicken money. That A&W money. That $5 ain't nothing to me money. Like, man, that makes me cry. Like,
it's bad. It's bad.
Good God, why do we judge?
So maybe we can
like,
recap.
listen.
Like, what even drew you to rap in the first place?
Yeah. So so it was two things, right? It was growing up listening to all that 90s hip hop.
Yeah,
is one thing. But the other thing is that I swear, like, kind of everyone around me in high school was doing it. So I wouldn't describe myself as a jock in high school or whatever.
same.
But I wasn't a nerd,
Same.
and rap was kind of this halfway, right, where it was still pretty cool, but you could be kind of creative and intelligent with it. And we used to, like, at lunchtime we'd be out in the I'm trying to translate for your listeners. I want to say, in the school grounds, out in the yard. That makes me sound like a prisoner.
We
with exercise
used to do
time,
that.
I'd be out in the yard.
What's funny about that translation is it's normally like we'll say stuff like the yard, but you only say that when you get to college. Like,
I see.
You just like in the cafeteria. So like you'll be on the yard at college versus in high school you're just in the caf.
Cool. All right. So I'm already translating by saying high school, but in secondary school. So we duck out and we like exchange verses. Hey yo, I just wrote this last night. We'd battle each other. That kind of that's how we. It was cool. It was. What I'm saying. That's how I got into it, because everyone around me was doing it, and that doesn't sound very inspiring, but we are products of our environment.
Yeah, it's just kind of who you were around, who you were sort of influenced by. I don't know, like I'm trying to, I don't know, spur more questions from it, but maybe Icarus, do you have something that inspired? Just interject, please do.
My experience with that, because that's the same, and it's so rare, or not rare, but it's fun to see how similar everything is, because as you're telling the story, we're in the same places. Like, that's what we used to do. Like when I was in 9th grade, there was this hallway close to the cafeteria that was by the band room that had like a sort of
it's like a
like
nook.
circular like a nook. Yeah, it was like a little nook. So the acoustics in this area, because you're about to lead down into the band room, were like boss. So
it's like a perfect reverb.
Perfect reverb.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a perfect reverb. And so, they beat on the wall and we battle and have ciphers and everything else. So it's like it happens everywhere. So it's like it's cool to see that. And I kind of want to know, like, do you think that, because we had to learn this too, and this is why I never quit rapping and still am trying to, like, do you think that it was just a reaching the right audience thing with your music, or just one of those you just like didn't want to do it anymore?
Yeah, no, that's a dope question. Do you know what it was? I think it was an audience thing, right? Because here's the thing with like, I felt that I was writing. This is gonna sound bad. Our stuff was deep. I felt like, I had one lyric where I go, yo, I make music for dumbasses, and for real that hurts. Because although they hear my words, they don't feel my verse. Or something like, what I'm saying? It was kind of like, I felt like I was writing this dope stuff, and like the right people weren't hearing it. And maybe that was partly my fault for not kind of pushing it and promoting it and all of that. But no, in retrospect, that sounds kind of arrogant, right?
No.
But listen, here's the thing.
No. When I say that's how I feel, and that's how you kind of gotta feel about yourself sometimes, because it's like you like T.J. said this one time, like just because somebody doesn't think that he's deep doesn't mean that he's not. It just means he allows you to get this bar, and he didn't want to make it like he didn't have to make a tapestry of metaphors and stuff. It's right here.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a skill set in simplicity, right? It's really hard a lot of times for people to really synthesize something in something very concise and get it out to where it's impactful and concise at the same time. And if like that was my point with saying that is like, yo, sometimes just dumbing it down is the perfect thing to do in a way.
Yeah. Cannabis didn't get that memo.
Listen, I didn't get that memo, so like I still have trouble. Like even TJ will be like I'll say, I don't know what I'll say, but I'll say something that like is whatever. And he's like, what? Why did you like, dude? I know what you mean. Just say you walked in the door. You don't have to say I passed through the apex.
I just imagine you're like floating versus walking in the door, which
which is how we'll make it sound.
Is great. Like it's great imagery and it's really, really perfect. It's just you have to pick and choose within, the writing process is all about knowing when to pull those strings back and forth, I don't know. But it's great that we have that connection and we have those similar scenarios in common because you don't expect that to reach cultures, especially cultures that span geographic regions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Rap is universal. Poetry is it's essential human expression. And it's free, right? That's the other thing. Like, I grew up broke. Everyone I know grew up broke, and rap is something you can do for free. Learning a musical instrument costs money, right? Whereas you can steal a pen and pad from the classroom and write something, right? Writing a 16 is free, and that's why we all do it.
As long as you got time, you're good in a lot of cases.
Because you're the instrument. I mean, I am my own instrument, regardless of whether I have an instrument with you. Which is why I always get mad when people ask, like, oh, I do music. Oh, so what do you play? I'm like, my voice, bitch. My voice. Like, let's not do that.
Isn't that something kind of similar to your snakes rant, right? So people would start small talk for dumb reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or assume things about you, just because of like your conversation with them.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
A question just now hit me. I was going to say this earlier about the acquired taste stuff. So, are you into anime and stuff like that?
I'm not, man. But a lot of people around me are. And I'm thinking I should do. I mean, exactly what I was Pokemon era, but nothing recent.
That's what I was going to say. That would be an interesting acquired taste because it is an acquired taste for a lot of people because you probably think that, like, as most people do, that there's not something that you can kind of connect with on that scale. But if you watch something like a Samurai Champloo, it combines hip hop with the anime or the Boondocks. And if you watch the Boondocks ever, that counts. Like, you try not to count it. The Boondocks is anime. Like, regardless of how people want to.
Yeah, that's an anime, that manga style, right?
Yeah, because they had manga artists and stuff do the animations for them, so it counts.
Yeah, totally. I hear about Death Note. And that's like a super popular one.
Yeah.
Death Note is a good one. Don't watch that bullshit on Netflix. That live action bullshit. Don't do that. But that's a really good one because the reason these are so good is because of the stories they tell. So Death Note simply is just a kid gets the power to kill people and goes crazy, and then there's a smart guy who's trying to catch him. That's the general premise of it. It's enough to kind of be electric, and it gives you, like, it's not so weird. like I do videos on all this stuff, like the same way. Like I try to explain to people like what fan service is, and that you should be wary of this. It's the same thing. Like, you know how back in the day, like late nights we used to watch certain channels. Like, but you like we're not getting to see anything but a girl in her bra or in panties and stuff like that.
Right.
Like that's fan service for us. As me and Baywatch, the reason the slow-mo was invented, so, you know, that's, you know, kind of what they do in their animation style. So it's like that's what they do because they're specifically made, some of them for, you know, 13 to 15-year-old boys or girls, so on and so forth. But that would be an interesting acquired taste. So I asked that just to kind of see. I kind of figured, but I kind of wanted to be sure, because that's one of those things where it's very required.
You know, I might give that a go, man. I'll check them out. Boondocks. What was the other one?
Boondocks
Samurai...
and Shampoo. So spell shampoo with a CH in front, with a C in front of it.
Okay,
like instead of the S. It's really really good.
Yeah, no, I used to. I used to. I used to live with a Chinese family. Long story.
Wait. See what I just did?
Yeah.
I've landed on the landmine. Go.
It's the perfect time. So explain this, please.
I'm listening.
Yeah. So no. So basically, rental prices in London are crazy, right? The housing market is outrageous. So everybody rents, nobody buys, and so you end up living in like spare rooms of people renting out spare rooms, right? That's the kind of just that's how a lot of Londoners live. Anyways, for about 2 years, I was living with this Chinese family who were renting out the spare room. Amazing time. Hey, listen, his mother cooked some mean rice. That was it was good times. Anyways, anyways, the son in the family was like super into all this anime stuff and all of that. And so I, you know, every time I come home, he'd be on Netflix watching Death Note, watching all these more obscure ones. And so, you know, that stuff is ever present in my mind, that it exists and what it's vaguely about. But I never really got into watching it. But yeah, that was cool, man. It's like, you know, I recommend it. Listen, if you ever get a chance to just like
live with the Chinese family.
Yeah, or just any culture that's not exactly familiar with. Hey, listen, it's dope, man. It's kind of mad human love, you know what I mean? But what interesting thing, basically, so he was like the son in the family. He was really into like online gaming, right? Like, you know, these big multiplayer. I don't know what he played. It was something like League of Friends or some name like that. Right?
League of Legends.
Right, yeah, League of Legends. And so most nights I'd hear him kind of in the next room clicking away, playing these people online.
Yeah.
And every so often I'd hear him say something like, "Yo, you got to help me kill these guys." And I'd be sat there thinking, "Yo, I pray he's talking about the game right now." I'm gonna confront.
Wow.
And then one time I confronted him. I was like, "Hey, man, how's the game going?" And he said, "What game?" Oh, yeah, the game is good. Yeah.
Oh my god, yo! I know you were like, wait, hold on, wait. Like, I know you play games, man. Please don't play.
Please tell me you play games.
Please tell me you understand that you've been playing games this whole time. No. And like, I don't need those kind of problems. But that's interesting because, like, so, I do want to know, like, and this is such an interesting thing. I have to know more about these meals because, like, to get that kind of authentic cooking from anybody, like if you have something that your mom or your cousin or your grandmother or anybody makes, when you get that from another culture, that has got to be amazing. So like,
it's beautiful.
What kind of things? Like, I know you said she made a mean rice, but like what?
Yeah. So like there was a lot of fish dishes. Fish was a big thing. But like they flavored it up nice. There was other stuff that I didn't always join them for. Like there was like, so I don't eat pork in it, and so like they, you know, that was part of the diet. But I didn't get involved.
That's huge. They are huge.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Like I thought that, you know, they talk about Southern Black people, how much Southern Black people love pork in the U.S. But listen, there's nothing compared to the love of pork that Asians have.
Yeah.
They put
It's like
pork. Listen, here's a simple dish to explain to the listeners.
Yeah.
They will take pork fat and just put it over rice. And that's the dish.
Wow.
Like it's literally
Wow,
it's
sounds
just little
kinda
pieces of
delicious.
pork. It's just little pieces of like pork fat, like lean
kinda like
pork.
bacon.
So
Right.
then, it soaks down into the rice. So the rice already has the flavor of being perfectly cooked. And then it just kind of sinks down. So that's interesting. Like that's one of those things that you can only learn. Like, and I think that's something that has to be appreciated about, even though it should be more affordable for people to buy houses there. That has to be appreciated. Like the fact that allowed you that experience. That's amazing. Do you have any other experiences like that from
living
your living experience?
Yeah, so I've lived in a bunch of other kind of crazy kind of house shares in London. The weirdest one, was one where it was a house share with 12 people, but I was the only one who spoke English. Which I was like I was like the self-appointed mayor of the house. Whenever anyone knocked at the door, anyone official called, I had to kind of answer it and see to it.
Wow.
It was weird. It looked like, I don't know if you ever watched Scarface. You know the refugee camp at the beginning. It kind of looked like that. So,
oh my god!
it was a weird house, man. But yeah, I've lived. I've lived in all sorts of. But that's London, man. It's kind of like it's got this crazy high price of admission, but it's kind of rewarding living here in kind of other ways.
Yeah, it's like there you call it flatmates, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
flatmates. Yeah,
but it's not like friends.
I had a flatmate.
Friends was sending people a dream.
Right. I had a flatmate from the Isle of Man, and that's where I got my introduction to curry, because he would spend a lot of time in London, and finally came. I don't know how he got to Arkansas, but that kind of misses me as far as like why Arkansas. Of all places, but
I have another tie into that, as you say that, like about curry in general.
Yeah.
So,
but John would make a really good curry dish, and living with him was one of those cultural experiences that you're talking about that kind of shook me. You know what I mean? I didn't expect to learn so much from him.
Was he Indian?
We never do.
No, he was totally white. He was just as white as they could be.
That is a funny phrase. He was totally white.
Yeah.
No, pure Aryan.
Because we've mentioned curry like 2 or 3 times at this point. Like, so I've made curry myself because of a manga that I used to read called Addicted to Curry. That's because this is what they do in Japan, because it's a big thing there too. The manga itself simply was just about curry and stuff, but in the manga they would put recipes, like, so they have like a beginner recipe for curry or whatever. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make this. So long story short, the recipe called for peppers, a certain kind of peppers. Now you can add heat because they love spice in their curry. You can do mild curries and stuff like that. So to add more heat, you just had to leave more seeds in there. So I'm going in, I'm taking all the seeds out, no gloves. I wear contacts.
Oh God.
Yeah, you following me now, right? So later on that night, and I've washed my hands, but I go to take my contacts out, and my eyes are like burning. So I put them in the contact case. All right, I'm like, all right, whoa, like, whoo, like, man, that's crazy. Now, I'm not knowing, again, the level of residue that pepper seeds leave. And I'm also somehow dumb enough to think that the cleaner is just going to clean it off. And like there's some sort of filter in my contact case. But you know what there's not in my contact case? A filter. So you know what's still in my contact case? All the residue in there. So I get up the next day and I'm like trying to put these contacts. I'm like,
round 2.
And like I just had to go to a whole new pack of content. But the moral of the story is curry is delicious.
Yeah. Just don't put it in your eyes.
Just don't put it in your eyes. And we've all eaten it. Like man, I think that every culture everywhere loves rice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a staple diet.
It's a staple for all of us, man. Yeah. Oh, did you know that random fact that Arkansas provides, I think, a lot of the world's rice?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you've probably eaten rice from like my hometown, or rice that like my dad's side of the family has probably made.
Nice.
So
little
man,
rice
we've been running for about an hour now, and man, this has been an excellent conversation. It's been very funny. It's like our funniest episode, not only this year, but our funniest episode in a very long time. So like I really had a great time. Like I said before at the beginning of the podcast, check out First Exit to Springfield. We'll put links down in the description. And check out everything else from Mansour of 2 Niles Production. And do you have any final words, anything that you want to shout out or plug before we go?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I had a blast. This was really cool conversation. Hope your listeners enjoy it too. Check out my stuff. As you said, youtube.com/2 Niles. Also take a look on Twitter. Just search 2 Niles. And yeah, thanks. Give it all a listen, feedback, and big up you guys for having me on.
Anytime. We'll have to have you back on. And I say this to everybody else, but I really mean this with you because this conversation was fun. And I do mean it to them too. Don't get me twisted, but this was fun. And like, there's a lot more I think that we can learn, like about all kinds of things over there.
Thank you. Yeah,
God,
sure.
I had another thing I was going to say that was important. Oh, we'll also place the episode that you and T.J. are going to do down in the description as well once that comes out. For you guys to check out, so you can get
probably next week.
Yeah, so you guys can get even more of this this lovely conversation that we have. But yeah, so I know you guys enjoyed this because I enjoyed it. Knowledge is for understanding and not to prove others wrong. This has been the No Rhyme or Reason Podcast with your boy Icarus Gray
and your homeboy Wordplay T.J.
And we'll keep coming back week after week after week, never missing a beat.
Peace.
No Rhyme or Reason is an On the Map music group production.